I wanted to tell you guys the story behind why I wear this bracelet that says walk on it. It's backwards for you guys, but it says walk. Why does it say walk? Why do I wear it? Why have I had it for the last 6 or 7 years? And why should you care? I think that if you guys are able to apply the principles from the story that I'm going to tell you and why I actually wear the bracelet, it has the chance to completely change the trajectory of your life. And the reason that I say that is because it completely changed the trajectory of my life. So, back when I was in college, I did an internship for somebody who's my mentor now. At the time, I'd never met him, didn't know who he was, and he owned a commercial real estate company that he had ran for the last, I think 40 years or something, 30 or 40 years. He'd built it up over a long period of time, had been hyper successful in it, and he himself had done a lot of work. He'd worked with a lot of different coaches, a lot of his own mentors, and he himself was just extremely emotionally intelligent, very self-aware, and he had built this extremely successful company. Like, he was a fantastic leader. And I was privileged and lucky enough to be able to not only intern with him, but to be able to sit down with him every single Friday where he would give me like a whiteboard session and really dig into me, like help me understand the way that I think, why I think that way, the way that I'm programmed, my perspective on the world, how to think differently. And he really challenged me and like opened my eyes to a lot of different worldviews. And just again, the way that my software had been programmed that was running this operating system that I think of, and how unconscious I was living my life. I wasn't very intentional. I wasn't consciously living. And during those sessions, I'd always get super hyped up and I'd tell him all the things that I was going to do and why I was going to do them, and whatever the case may be. And he'd always say to me, "Great, I'll watch your feet." And even after meetings with the company and members from the team, same thing. They'd say, "Hey, I'm going to have this done by this date, or we're going to do this, we're going to do that." And he'd say, "Okay, awesome, great. Like, I'll watch everybody's feet." Right? And obviously what he meant by that is you can talk the talk, but are you going to walk the walk? The only thing that matters is if you walk, right? It's what you actually do. Your actions speak much louder than your words. So, one of the reasons that I wear this bracelet is because, again, nobody cares what you say. Talk is cheap, right? Everybody can talk. Not a lot of people can walk and be consistent with it. And he himself had built up his legacy, he'd built up his career, he'd built up his business by being extremely consistent and actually walking. And for me, it was just like such an eye opener because I realized that everybody has great ideas. A lot of ideas die in the grave. Very few people actually take action. And the people that are extremely successful, it's not that they're smarter than you, it's not that they're more creative than you, it's not that they're better problem solvers than you. There's definitely aspects to that, right? But at the end of the day, those people just take action more consistently than you. And so it just really stuck out to me, like, because he'd always say that, "I'll watch your feet, I'll watch your feet, I'll watch your feet." And so the reason I wear it is because I just have to remind myself, you have to go out and walk the walk. Especially in today's day and age, people get almost more credit for the things that they say that they're going to do, right? "I'm going to start this business. I'm going to go on this vacation. I'm going to go get this girl. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do that." And people get hyped up on the idea of that. Like, "Oh my gosh, bro, did you hear that? Like, this guy's going to go to this, he's going to do Dubai, bro. He's going to go rent some cars there. Did you hear that? This guy's going to start this business. Like, he thinks it could be the next $1 billion business. It's going to be crazy. Did you hear he was going to do that?" And then 3 months goes by and it's like, "Yo, did you ever start that business?" "No, I never started it. Like, I'm still thinking about it. I got to figure out some stuff." Or, "Did you ever go on that crazy vacation to Dubai?" No, like, still figuring out, when the best time of year to go." Like, whatever the case may be, unfortunately nowadays, people get more hype for the things that they say they're going to do rather than the things that they actually do. "Oh, I'm going to go do this high rocks. I'm going to go do this marathon. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do that." But until you actually do it, until you actually have the medal and the achievement and the time and the experience, like, that's what matters. So I have to remind myself consistently that It's not about what you say, it's about what you do. It's about how you show up. And the second part of this bracelet is for the goals that anybody has, you're never going to get there immediately, right? It's not like you just go from here to there and immediately you achieve your goal and it happens overnight. It is countless steps and all these meticulous little actions that once you zoom out, you're able to see the bigger picture, and that's actually what got you towards your achievement. And so you're never going to do anything great quickly, right? And you can't skip steps. You can't go from A to Z. You have to take step after step after step. So it's just a good reminder to me that the only way to finish a marathon is you've got to just put one foot in front of the other. And if you do that long enough and consistently enough, eventually you'll run 26.2 miles. But if you start thinking about mile 22 when you're on mile 6, it's not going to help you at all, right? The only thing that you can focus on is getting to 6.01 and then 6.02, 03, 04 until eventually you finish the race. And it's interesting because so often, naturally as humans, we like to compare. We like to look at other people, see what they have, see how old they were when they were accomplished that thing, or what they looked like at this point versus what they look like now, who they're dating, how, like all these things. We like to look and compare and see if we can do that and if we can do it better. The thing is, when we compare like that, we so often, we see what they have and we want what they have, but we don't realize all of the work that was required to actually get that, right? We all want the view from the top of the mountain, but not everybody wants to make the climb. And so that's why those little steps are so important. You don't realize all of the struggle and pain and learning that these people had to go through to actually get to where they wanted to go. And so it's so easy, like, oh, I wish I had that, or I'm going to go do this. And then once you're actually in the thick of it and you're like, dang, this is actually what the work looks like. This is what being tired actually feels like. This is what struggle feels like. That's when it starts to kick in. And that's the beauty of it. Like, that's when you really start to get the whole, like, it's not the destination, it's the journey. You get so caught up in that in a good way, right? Like right now I'm training for my second marathon. I already ran a marathon. And before I ran that first marathon, I was like, dude, can I even do it? I had the belief that I could do it, but I'd never done it. So, you never really know. And you just show up to training every single day, and it gets kind of meticulous. And I think a fly just flew in my mouth. It gets kind of meticulous. And you start questioning, like, is this even worth it? Should I do this? I don't want to run today. My legs are sore. This sucks. I have to go further than I want to go. Like, I wish I could just take a week off. And then you go do the race. And when I did the race was like so awesome. So many people cheering you on. You had been training for the most part alone the entire time, and then you show up to the race. There's thousands of other people ready to run with you. There's people on the sides cheering. They got signs. And there's so much energy. And the furthest I'd ran before the marathon for my training, I think it was 20 miles, either 20 or 22. I want to say 20. And so I'd never ran 26 miles. And like miles 22 through 26, I learned a lot about myself. It was hard. I was cramping. I was overheating. Like, I was done. I did not want to keep on running. Finished the marathon. My goal was to do it in under 4 hours. I ended up doing it in under 4 hours. Felt fantastic for like 5 minutes. I was like, dude, I just did it. I'm a marathoner. Nobody can ever take that away from me. I ran a marathon. Less than 1% of people in the world ever run a marathon. Like, I'm the man. And then 5 minutes later, I was like, you know what? I could have definitely gone faster. I could have trained harder. I could have done better. And I'd seen all these people that had finished before me, many of which were shocking. Like, you see some people that are running past you that are like a 60-year-old lady or like an old dude or just like a dude that looks like he's way out of shape compared to you. And you're like, how the heck is this guy running faster than me? And it fires you up. Or at least it fired me up, right? And so I'm back on the horse again. I'm like, all right, I'm doing another marathon. My new goal is sub 3:30. So it's 30 minutes faster than what I did previously, which I think is possible. It'll be a challenge for me. but I think it's possible. But I'm back to it again, where every single day I'm running and I'm doing the steps and I'm walking. Um, I'm running, but I'm walking, right? Like my bracelet. And you're just in it. And I realized that, like, in order to actually achieve what I want, this is what it looks like. It looks like showing up every single day, running, putting the miles in, even when I don't want to, even when it's raining, even when it's cold, I got to show up. And running for me has been such a good transfer of lessons to life, because life is the same way in a lot of ways, where you have this big goal and you want to achieve it, and you go out and you put in the work day in and day out, and you fail forward and you learn and you grow and you struggle and you're in pain and you want to cry and you need someone to lean on and all of these things, and then you finally achieve that, and it's such a great feeling. And then what? Right? Once that's done, it's on to the next thing. Like, there's always something that you can learn and grow from, and you want to move on to next. It never ends. There's always that continuous pursuit. And so the walk never ends. You're always walking. You're never stopped. You are always in a continuous pursuit of becoming the highest and best version of yourself. And so at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you say you're going to do. It matters what you actually do, how you show up every single day. Being consistently good is better than being occasionally great. Showing up every single day is what's going to actually make tremendous amounts of progress for you over time. It's what's worked for me. It's what's worked for many other people. And so with that, like, going into this next month, going into this year, remember that, again, talk is cheap. You can talk the talk, but are you going to walk the walk? Are you actually going to show up every single day, regardless of how you feel? Put in the time, put in the energy, put in the effort, and keep on moving forward, right? Only to acknowledge the fact that you will hopefully achieve your goal that you set out. And when you do achieve that, you'll realize that's not the end. There's another bigger mountain that you're going to be ready to climb. And you have to accept the fact that you got to make the climb again. You got to put your head down and you got to start taking steps over and over and over again. And you begin to fall in love with the process. So that's where I'm at with my running. That's where I'm at with my life, as I'm pursuing this new business of mine of doing online fitness coaching while training for a marathon, while trying to enjoy my 20s in San Diego, while trying to be a good son, a good brother, a good friend, create lifelong memories, and go after a bunch of different goals that I have in a lot of different categories. But again, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what I say, it matters what I do. So hope you guys enjoy watching what I do. Hope you guys get a lot of lessons out of this and inspiration, and hopefully it fires you up. But again, I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna start walking, and I'll let you guys enjoy the ride. But appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.